What's up, guys? We're here with Mob Psycho 2, Episode 3. 2 times 3 is 6. This is better than a 6 out of 10.
It is.
It was pretty good.
It did subvert my expectations, though.
It was highly one-dimensional in regards to it focused almost entirely on Mob and his kind of realization of what him having all these powers mean.
Yeah, and kind of like, what line he's having to re-examine, I guess, because...
Yeah, in the past, it's been pretty much humans are good, spirits are bad. And then the finale of the first season, you got some bad humans. And this episode, we got some good spirits, or benign spirits.
Yeah, and, it's always told the line of, like, you got to exercise the spirits in order to protect the people that are still living. But in this scenario, Mob comes across as where it's like if the spirits are good and he doesn't want to exercise them, then he's going to have to, deal with the humans or, the people that are still living that needed the people exercised. So, it's like... I told myself I'm never going to use my powers to hurt people, but if I protect the spirits, then it's kind of like a Damachi aspect with the dungeon.
Yeah,
it's like, well, fuck me, what do I do? But so you get to see that internal struggle, and I would say, like Michael said, like that's the main focus of the episode. So this is a lot slower episode, like the last, or I should say, the first two.
You have a good
cameo
and funny moment when there's bullying happening.
That's my favorite scene of this episode.
Yeah, I think...
at first you don't realize what's happening, and then it's just like, oh, Dimple.
Dimple's there.
I love also how everybody comes to his rescue in that moment.
Yeah, even his brother...
It's not really rescue, they're just like really protective of Mob.
Yeah, I mean, even his brother seems better. Not as much of a jerk. I think he finally realizes how big the world is. Mm-hmm. But at the end scene, Mob's like recovering after this experience with the spirits, and he's just like talking to himself and contemplating. He talked about great power, great responsibility, blah 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 blah. But he also was like, well, if I do turn bad, or if I do start harming humans, or siding with the spirits, who could stop me?
Yeah,
and that is also sad. It kind of that would stress you out too, because.
Yeah. And that's a valid
point. At this point, he hasn't really fought anyone that he had to even fight at 100%, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there was one or two characters last season where he had to go, like, full power.
Well, I don't even think, like, when he's gone 100%, he's really had to use that mode in max. It's always been, like, nonchalant, like, oh, his base level in that mode is always enough, It
hasn't been an extended fight like you would see in One Punch Man Season 1, like the finale. That was, like, an extended fight. Even though, anyway, semantics. But yeah, I think this episode was disappointing in some aspects because we didn't get to see blonde-haired guy.
Yeah, we
didn't get to see girlfriend. We didn't get to see friend.
Mm-mm.
We got to see Body Improvement Club and his brother, which we hadn't seen his brother yet, I don't think.
We saw him a little bit when he was doing the speech thing, but...
Yeah, do we know who's the president?
The same guy.
The same guy. I think it was the same guy. I didn't remember that they confirmed that, but...
I think, the whole aspect with, like, Mob and his, like, internal struggle is something that... It's like, yeah, they probably should, touch on, because he can't really go, the whole time, like, experiencing these things with, like, no emotion or, like, any stance, like, firm stance on anything. So I do appreciate, like, that development they're adding to his character. I think that's going to help play in some of, like, the bigger arcs, especially when he comes across, like, a new organization or the same organization coming back, because maybe it might be the point where he's starting to see a little bit more from their side of things.
Also, it seems like his brother, I don't know if it's just me and I don't remember how strong his brother was, but it does seem like he's gotten quite a bit stronger.
Yeah, well, I think, it's like, it's a muscle, so they're able to exercise it, he gets a little bit stronger. But I mean, he probably does have, like, a pretty good innate potential, because he's Mob's brother, but I doubt he's, going to go toe-to-toe with him anytime soon.
No, but I think that would kind of...
But I would be curious to see if he's closer to the blonde-haired guy in strength.
Yeah, we actually do get to see some regret for Sensei. He's starting to regret how much Mob is working and how he's started to feel a little nervous about Mob's, like, mental development.
The con with a heart of gold.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see how that plays. He also gets cursed in this episode, so that's great. That's one aspect of the episode that we didn't talk about, there is one scene where someone comes in trying to curse someone, and Sensei gets cursed instead. And he could have slipped on a banana pill, man.
And broke his neck.
Exactly. That's happened before to someone. But
yeah, there's elements of it that like, you know, they kind of, like we talked about in our other two things, like the Sensei was being a little obvious in terms of like the scams are just not like, you know, caring so much about like Mob, you know, especially with like that one joke he said, like, I'd like at least a little bit heads up before you call me out here to a dying garden. But, you know, it's nice that, you know, he actually realizes that and it's like connecting, because it's like at first it's like you feel like he's just being like sloppy, but I guess it's just like he was like so focused on like getting the money that he wasn't really paying attention to Mob as much as he did like in the first season.
Yeah, I think there are going to be a part of the people who watch this, you know, a percentage of the population who watch this episode and are disappointed. In contrast to episode 1 and 2, there's really not action, or Mob doesn't really flex his muscles that much, and I think that's kind of unprecedented for this particular author, because in One Punch Man you always got action. I think in Mob there may have been 1 or 2 episodes where you didn't get a bunch of action. Yeah,
but it was like if it didn't have action, it had comedy, and this one, like, it had glimpses of comedy, but it was more of a serious episode.
Yeah, I think that, but you know, I like that change of tone, and as long as they develop the themes later, then I'm happy with the direction it's going.
One thing that I do love about this season so far that they've been keeping throughout the first 3 episodes, even in the serious tone, is the, like, I want to say like the more eerie atmosphere that you would more see in like a supernatural horror. You know, they kind of have that, like, you know, music, or like just even like the lighting and stuff like that they choose for certain scenes. Like with this one, like mostly taking place at dark, you get kind of that aspect. And even though it's still like a comedy show, like comedy action at its heart, I do like that they have that kind of element that they're playing on.
I also had a stalker, but that didn't really go anywhere. So
yeah,
he went to jail.
I'm sure that Mob. I don't know what they're gonna do for like the big bad, but I have a feeling his girlfriend's not gonna be safe.
Oh man,
that's just a little speculation for you guys out there. If she gets
captured,
yeah.
Oh. And Mob's gonna be mad.
Mob's gonna go to 100, 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah, it looks like probably not next episode, but the one after we may get 100% Mob.
Yeah, because it jumped really far. Because it's been kind of a slow burn in terms of that aspect, but I think it's like the first episode he got to like 21%. Second episode we didn't get any build up, and then this episode immediately jumped to like 67%. So.
Yeah, how do you feel about the animation? They don't have the number ticking up anymore. It's just
it's just a flash. I really, I do miss that. I kind of hope that
it also isn't as direct with like how it goes up. You know, like something happens, it goes up.
Yeah, I will like if they just. I mean, you know, it's like a little minor thing, but if like for instance, like the next thing he encounters gets him from like 67 to 100, I would love if they did like the counter all the way up instead of just like a flash to 100. But yeah, that is a small thing I do miss, is a transitioning thing. But
overall, I like the episode.
Yeah, the animation's, you know, phenomenal too. It's like it's one of those things where it's like I guess you could say like it does have such good animation. Why do they do those like really black and white like sketchy transitions? But I love those. Yeah,
that was my favorite part where they had to ride overnight to get back to town. That was great. It's the little things sometimes.
Little things that count. But yeah, I would say definitely highlight for me. I do like the bully stop, but the development to his character I think is definitely going to pay off later this season. So,
are we ready?
I think we are. I guess we'll see you guys next week. I'm not going to poke your eye out. Sorry. Episode 4. I don't know if we've gotten a confirmation if it's 12 episodes or if it's going to be longer.
We'll be here though.
We will be here. So we'll see you guys next time. Later, Addicts.
Later.